start because I don't have any idea. Right? Then, Asari, is it possible for at least few people to uh, answer? That means I will give you very small questions, right? Only few questions. Only few questions I will give you. Then mic's on off color, We will mute all mics. හරි. ආසිරි මම හිතන්නේ on කරන්න අපි කතා කරනකොට. Okay. Then I want to understand where I should start because your given that presentation is actually a bit it is in the master's level actually in economics, but that touches the basic level as well. So that the range I have to cover is a bit much more than this the course expected to you. However, that depends on your level. So, is it okay for me to test? That mean I will give small questions to you, and you just take 2 minutes, 1 minute for one question, and just write what it is, and can you drop it to my WhatsApp? WhatsApp එකට එව්වහම then I will Asiri, how is my sounds if I come to this board? Asiri, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. When I come to the board also, you can hear me. Eh? So
Yes,
what I'm telling is, I will give you just few questions. Then you write down the answer and just send me. Right? They are not big questions. They just take 1 minute and just write it. Okay. මට WhatsApp කරන්න. Then I will see where I should start. The first question is, what is loan? What is short run in production? පුළුවන් කට්ටිය විතරක් ලියලා ටක් ගාලා දාන්න. මේ especially බැරි කට්ටිය, especially who cannot define it, you just send a blank one.
සර් මම ඇඩ් කරන අපේ group එකට එහෙනම්.
Yes, I think that is very easy. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. And Asiri, you can create a different group because
yeah.
Yeah.
This is a different group. I
Okay.
can add this here.
Okay.
හරි හරි මම අරක මචං මොන හරි කරලා හෙට සෙට් කරගන්න
මේ we will unmute your we will mute your microphones and we will go ahead. Yes. Yes, no any answers still. My question is define short run in production. අනිත් එක yes. මෙහෙමයි yes message box වල අනිත් එක don't use internet or anything because I want to understand where you are only, right? This is not a exam or anything. So write your own answers, and also reading in the message box is a bit difficult. Okay. Yes. If you have written it, the next question is what are fixed inputs?
Sir, can you say it again?
What are fixed inputs or define fixed inputs? And write your definition because you don't just explain it, right? Just write the short run is then write the answer. Asiri, shall I make you the host? Then you can admit your. The third question is write in a paper and just take a photo and let me see it. The third question is what does the short run production theory explain? What does the short run production theory explain? You just write few sentences only. If you do not know, leave a space. I can see only Asiri. Asiri is still writing, right? The last question is define marginal revenue. Define marginal revenue. I am recording this meeting, then you all can see it late after the meeting is over. I'll upload to the drive and send you the link. Yes, only few students have responded. Then does it mean that it is difficult? So it's fine. I want to just understand where I should start. Actually, I wanted to see the paper that you have written, not the typing in the message boxes. Then yes. Okay. Yes, Eranga, your answer is correct. Okay. Yes, actually, I want this type of, right? Okay, then we will start it, right? I could not get a very good idea because only few students responded, and I will just continue, and after some time we will have a chat. All right? Okay. Then uh, the production is a process that transfer inputs into output. Inputs, we can identify two types of inputs. ඔයගලන්ට පෙනේ මම බිම් බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා මේ කැමරාව තියෙන ටිකක් උඩ. I'm looking at the uh, laptop, right? Then inputs are in two types. One type of inputs is fixed inputs. The other type of input is variable input. How do we identify these two types of inputs? Depends on the time period of the production. When we identify the production theories, the theories are identified according to the two time frame. One is short run, the other is long run. Short run production. Can anyone tell me how many months or years is considered as short run? Any general idea?
No months or years considered. It's just a situation.
Yeah. Okay. Then any other answer? Asiri, do you have any idea? No, I'm not asking naming because I want just to have an idea because in the previous one, I could not have a good idea to where to start. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I can understand. Your answer is correct. And what about? I want to ask from this Asiri. Can you tell me? I can see you. If you don't know, tell me because I want to identify whether the basics are okay to go ahead.
Yeah, I
Next
also
day you
make
can
the
divide
same
into
answer.
two. Once the basics are covered, the others can join. Otherwise,
Yeah.
some students will go ahead with me. Sometimes others cannot follow. That's why.
Yeah, that depends on the nature of the industry. Yeah, you are involved in.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Then short run is a time period that is not sufficient to change all types of inputs. When we consider a garment factory and within 6 months time period, if we consider, it is not possible to change all inputs, especially the factory size, some machineries or buildings, it is not possible to change these type of inputs. But some types of inputs can be changed. As an example, labor, clothes like raw materials, electricity. So these are possible to be changed within this time period. If the time period is not enough to change all types of inputs, that time period is called short run. When we consider that garment factory, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, that will require to change all types of inputs. When we consider a hydropower project, it will require 4 years of time to change all types of inputs, including that reservoir. When we consider a small Vadekade, it will take only 3 months to change all these inputs. Therefore, as one student said, that depends on the nature of the business. However, the short run is the time period that is not sufficient to change all type of inputs. Then 2 inputs are there. One is fixed inputs. What are fixed inputs? Types of inputs. Those cannot be changed within the time period we consider. Within 6-month time period, that garment factory, the factory size is a fixed input. But when we consider variable inputs, it is possible to change within that time period. Therefore, when we identify the production process in short run and long run, we have to understand what is the meaning of this short run and long run. First, I will take short run production. And before moving to these theories, we will go to understand what is production function is. When we consider the production, it transforms inputs into output. If I write Q is the output. Q depends on mathematically Q is the function of. Q depends on amount of inputs. And what are the inputs? When we consider production theories, we consider 2 types of inputs only to simplify and understand it. One input is capital, the other input is labor. Then the capital is given as capital K and the labor is capital F. And the output of the production process depends on amount of capital and amount of labor. Yes. Okay. So when we consider a production process in the short run, a short run firm has, shall we mute your phone? Shanika. Abhi mute kar lemu, that disturbs otherwise. Okay. Right, okay. The output depends on these 2 inputs and K and L, capital and labor. Therefore, when we consider in the short run production process, we have to make a change here. That is, the output depends on the function now. Same amount of capital, K bar, and various levels of labor. Same amount of machineries to simplify, and maybe L1 level of labor. That means maybe 10 labor as an example, or else L2 level of labor, or up to Ln level of labor. Any amount of labor. Then that means the short run producer can increase only variable inputs while holding the same amount of fixed inputs. When the short run producer wants to increase the output, it increases only variable inputs. When the short run producer wants to reduce the output, it reduces only variable inputs while having the same amount of fixed inputs. So this is the short run production function. And when it comes to the production function indicates two things. Short run or long run, it indicates two things. One is how much is the output possible to produce with the given level of inputs. When inputs are given, it is possible to understand how much is the maximum amount of output possible. On the other way, that also indicates what is the amount of inputs required to obtain a given amount of output. Output එක දුන්නාම inputs කොච්චරද කියලා දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. Inputs දුන්නාම output එක දැනගන්න පුළුවන්. Output එක දුන්නාම how much of inputs required it is possible to understand. So this is the production function. And when it comes to the long run production, it is the time period which is sufficient to change all types of inputs. Therefore, in the long run, all inputs are variable. Variable means can be changed within that time period. Then, when it comes to long run production, we can write like this. The output in the long run, Q, that is a function of simply that depends on various level of capital K1, K2, up to Kn, any amount of capital, with mixing L1 level of variable inputs, L1 labor, L2 labor, or Ln level of labor. Therefore, when we recognize the production function in the short run, we can identify here the capital amount is same. And the long run, it is possible to change all these two inputs, not the all two inputs. That means capital and labor, the basic inputs. But when it comes to very long run, right, it is not in your presentation. In very, very long run, the technology also is possible to change. Right? Total with this basic understanding. Miten Delekang, are there any questions or any anything you want to get clarified? Or anything you want to get clarified?
Sir, so for the long run also, one of the assumptions is technology is fixed, no?
Yes. Normally when we discuss the theories, we discuss mainly these two basically, long run and short run. And short run, only labor or variable input stage, and technology as well as the capital not change. And here the capital and the labor both possible to change, but still the technology remains unchanged. In the very long run, it is possible to change the technology also. That is not in our theories. Theories basically understand, right? Ogalange first few slide indicates that the firm has to decide what is the total output, right? That means not all the output levels generate the maximum profit. Therefore, the firm should decide what is the output that should be produced in order to maximize the profit. So this output that maximizes profit is called optimal output. Therefore, this theory is guide to firm to identify the optimal output mainly, basically, right? That is also called the equilibrium in a firm. That means the firm decides how much to be produced and remains unchanged by maximizing profit, especially in the short run.
So why we are taking only labor, but the raw materials?
Yes, good answer. Yes, good question. Right. That means if we take all types of inputs like that in that garment factory, clothes, material, labor, electricity, water, stationaries, and we have to take meaning. But for the simple understanding and simplifying of the theory, it is taking only two. So this is actually not the label that indicates the variable inputs. But we take it as label. It is very simple to understand it. All the theories are taken like this, not all. Any other questions? Good question. Right, okay. If we run out of this 45 minutes, right, then we will start new meeting, right? Then this link is the same. I think you are okay with this, Neil, right? That's online. Right, okay. Then I will move to theory. This is my plan now. All right. We will go ahead with the theory. And I will explain you the theory using the slides in your presentation as well. After that, you can discuss after the lesson is over, right? Cost and production and all, right? That is the same lesson. And once the lesson is over, you can refer your questions or else what was discussed in the lecture room as well as the presentations. Then you can come to me the next day. Then we can discuss with your questions, so past papers, so anything, right? Okay. Then I will start with your presentation. Actually, initially explains the short run and long run theories, the basics in same slides, but I am not going to follow the same structure. Just I will take the short run production first and the long run production next, because two types of presentations have to be done. That means we are taking isoquant curves in long run, but the one theory in short run. Therefore, we will finish the short run production, then we will move to long run production, then we have to come to the cost of production. Okay, all right. Any answer? What is the theory that explains the short run production? That means what is the name? මම අහන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ නිකන් අපහසුතාවයට මේව කරන්න නෙමෙයි. right? නිකන් පොඩි understand එකක් තියෙන්න ඕන නිසා. right? Any answer? What is the theory? Okay. Now we will see like this. When we consider a short run producer, as I said earlier, when he wants to increase the output, he increases only variable inputs. We will assume the short run producer keeps on increasing the output. He wants to increase the output continuously. What he can do? He can only add more and more variable inputs to a given amount of fixed inputs. I will repeat it. When the short run producer requires to increase the output continuously, only one way he has, that is to increase the variable inputs only. Fixed inputs cannot be changed, the time period is not enough. If we take a very simple example, assume that you are running a small business and you have only one machinery. We will assume it is an embroider or something, right? Then only one machinery and the maximum amount of labor, right? That means to the recommended amount of labor, right? To work with this machine with the full capacity with this machine is 15 kilo hickory. When we consider initially, he will employ 5 laborers. And you just assume that the number of t-shirts he produces is 100. And when he increases labor, when the 100 is the output, when 100 is not enough, he wants to increase the output in the short run. When the demand increases in the market, he wants to increase the output. Then what he can do is, he can increase only labor. The machinery, same. Only labor increases. Now he has employed the 6th ton. And now the output increases to 125. Still, you can see here the best mix of the capital and the labor is 1 machinery to 15 labor. When he keeps on adding more labors here and he employs the 7th ton also, what happens is now it increases like 175. That means the output increases rapidly now. What is the reason? The capacity of the machinery is now used by this firm. And adding more and more labor will increase the using of this capacity. Now, this firm is reaching towards the best mix of the capital and labor. Machine එකයි labors ලගාන අතර best mix is 1 machinery requires 15 labors now. Then, now this firm is reaching towards the efficient mix. What happens is now the output keeps on increasing in increasing rate. Assume that now the output increases like this and he reaches to the best efficient mix. What happens now? It will reach to the maximum level of the productivity. Maximum efficiency is reached. And when we consider after this, the best efficient mix between the capital and the labor. Assume that the firm has still increasing of the demand in the market. Now what the firm has to do is it has to increase the output. But how? Only increasing the labor. He will employ another one. So this is the way that the short-run producer keeps on increasing the output. He tries to increase the output by only increasing the variable inputs. Then here, what happens here is when the particular firm keeps on adding more and more variable inputs to a given amount of fixed inputs. I will repeat, you have to understand this. When a particular firm in the short run keeps on
Recording in
capital
progress.
he uses. And I will put 10. 10 is the capital. Assume that the labor variable inputs, we will assume only the labor is used and no labor. What would be the total output? Total output is given as TP. Capital and no labor. TP, how will be the TP? How much will be the total output?
Zero.
Without any labor, at least to switch on the machinery, it is TP is 0. But one thing you have to remember here is, even though the output is 0, some inputs are available. In order to call it a firm, this is a firm in the short run. Even in output is 0 and the total product is 0, there are fixed inputs. Therefore, even though the output is 0, the firm has a cost. Remember this. The firm has a cost in the short run, even if the output is 0. it is the cost of fixed inputs. Okay. And when we consider the labor increases to 1, now output will increase. But what happens to K? It is same. And TP we will assume it is 10. The output is 10 now. Now, the amount of labor he employs one more labor. What happens is now total product increases. But how? The total product increases at an increasing rate. Why? Because now you have two labors. You can employ them in a systematical method, which is called the labor division. One person is used to operate the machinery. The other person is specialized for something else. Therefore, they will continue the producing of the same or continue the operating of the same and will become experts. Therefore, with this systematical method, it is possible to increase the output and the output increases at an increasing rate. And fixed input remains unchanged. If 3 people are there, it is also possible to use them in a different way. Now the output increases higher rate than that. Right? Here it increases. We will assume that this is 75. And the capital remains unchanged. Here, what happens to the output with the additional labor? With this additional labor, the total product changes like this. This is the additional output obtained with an additional input. The additional output obtained with an additional variable input. This is called the marginal product. It is the marginal product of labor. මේ විදිහට ඔයගලන්ට සයිට් එකේ තියෙනවාද කියලා මට මතක නෑ. This is the marginal product of the labor. Then what is the marginal product of the labor? The marginal product of the labor is the additional output received with an additional variable input. When the firms employs an additional unit again, the output increases. So the marginal product here is 15. And when the firm employs an additional unit, now again the output, we will assume it is 50. Now the 25 is the change. So the marginal product is what is the change in the output due to change of variable inputs by 1 unit. The marginal product is the additional output obtained with an additional unit of variable input. Then the additional output with the 1 unit of variable input is change in TP over change in L. You just see here, the additional output is 10. How did you take it? The change in the total product, it is the change in the total product is 10. Total product has increased by 10. And the change in L is 1. 10 divided by 1 is 10. So this is how the marginal product is calculated. If I take it here, the marginal product of labor, marginal productivity of labor. What is the product? What is the output change when an additional labor is employed. It is taken as delta TP. Delta TP here is the 10 has increased to 25. It is 15. 15 divided by, here it is 1. This is the change in labor. This is the change in output. Then it is 15. I will make a small change here. Again, you see in this example, we will assume that here the labor employment increases to 4 by 2 units. How can we take the marginal revenue, marginal product? Marginal product of labor is delta TP. Delta TP is here 25. 25 has increased to 50. And now the change in labor is 2. Therefore, marginal product is 12.5. This is how the marginal product is taken. And also we can take the average product. Average product means what is the output per variable input. You know how to calculate the average. Average product is given as APL, average productivity of labor. Per labor, what is the output? Then here it is 0 and APL is the TP over Q, total product divided by labor, and total product here is 10 and divided by 1, it is 10, and total product here is 25 divided by 2 labors, it is 12.5. Like you can do this calculation. Before moving to the theory එකට කලින් අපි මේක චුට්ටක් බලලා ඉමු. You just understand what is marginal product and what is average product. Then I will share the screen and we will see your presentation. Okay. Asiri, can you see the screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now here, what we discussed here is production function, and I think this is clear to you, right? Here, the quantity output is a function of that depends on these are the inputs x1, x2, x n කියලා දානවා නැත්නම් xk කියලා ගන්නෙ any amount of inputs, any type of inputs කියලා දාලා තියෙන්නේ. However, we take may x1, xk කියලා කියන්නේ different inputs, and for our current analysis මේකේ තියෙන්නේ only L and K are considered. Okay. ඊට පස්සේ if we go to this මේ ටිකට අපි පස්සේ යමු. Okay. We'll understand these basics. Okay. Can you just calculate this TP? And here you take one more column, that is MP and AP. Keep on calculating. ඉක්මන ටට්ටක් ගාලා කරගෙන යමු අපි. You just take MP, marginal product. I think average product is clear. Average product is what is the output produced by per labor output. Total product divided by labor. And you have to calculate marginal product. Marginal product, you can write delta TP over delta L. Okay, I think you can calculate it. Therefore, if you have finished it, හරි ටිකක් හැදුවත් ඇති. මට කියන්න පුළුවන්ද one of you marginal product no, yes, you continue. Right. Shall I read and can you check? Okay. Marginal product only. $480. The first one actually have you taken 250 or 240 also? 0 to 1. You can take 240 also, right? The output increases, labor increases from 0 to 1, and the TP has increases to 240. Therefore, the first one, if you want, you can take as 240. After that, 480, 660, 780, 840, 840, 780, 660, 480, 240, 0, minus 60, minus 420. I just write it, right? Here it is. Yes, we can take here 240 and 660 and 780, 840, 780, 660 and 480 like. Okay. If you have calculated this, what has happened to marginal product? I think the time is enough to calculate it. Can anyone tell me what is happening to marginal product? Marginal product, just any answer?
It has reached the peak and showing a downward trend from 3,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When the firm keeps on adding more and more variable inputs to the given amount of fixed inputs. Now in this firm, the fixed inputs are same and the firm tries to increase their output by adding more and more variable inputs. When more and more variable inputs are added to a given amount of fixed inputs, the marginal product increases up to a certain point. After that, eventually diminishes. When the firm keeps on adding more and more variable inputs to a given amount of fixed inputs, the marginal product eventually diminishes after a certain point. I will repeat it. When the firm keeps on adding more and more variable inputs to a given amount of fixed inputs, the marginal product eventually diminishes after a certain point. That means you have to remember the marginal product increases up to a certain point, after that diminishes, after that decreases. So this is the short-run production theory. This theory is called the diminishing marginal returns. What is it? The law of diminishing marginal returns. What is diminishing marginal returns? It is the short-run production theory. This explains what is the output behavior of a short-run production firm. The short-run producer only can increase the variable input. When the firm increases the output in the short run, he keeps on adding more and more variable inputs to a given amount of fixed inputs, and what happens is the marginal product eventually diminishes after a certain point. It is the theory. And remember, there are two assumptions under this theory. The theory assumptions, I didn't see it in the presentation, but you may have read it in other books. Or the one is the labor variable input. Variable inputs are homogeneous. That means each and every labor employed are same in all the aspects. Their strength, skills, behavior, attitudes, everything are same here. That means homogeneous means this output does not decrease due to the changes in the employee. That means after that these people employed are not good here. It is not. We assume here the same type of same skills and everything, they are homogeneous, they are identical, they are perfect substitute for each other here. Then the second assumption is the production technique remains unchanged. Here we assume the technology also remains unchanged. Right? These are the two assumptions under short-run production theory. Okay. Third, in your presentation, the total product behavior, marginal product behavior, and the average product behavior is discussed. First, I will take the total product. What is total product? Total product is the output and before moving to these diagrams, මොනහරි questions තියෙනවා ළමයි. Is it clear what is diminishing marginal returns?
Yes.
Anyone thinks that I want to explain it again? Or any clarifications? Did you understand what is short-run production theory says? It says the firm cannot change all types of inputs. What the firm can do is only keeps on increasing the variable inputs. Then the theory explains what is the behavior of the output. The behavior of the output is when the firm increases only variable inputs, holding the same amount of fixed inputs. The marginal product increases up to a certain point, after that eventually diminishes. And when I take the total product is the total output generated at each level of variable inputs. These words are important when we consider the total product. That means the total output. Total product means total output. The total product depends on amount of labor. Therefore, when you explain this, when you present this output behavior, the horizontal axis should represent the labor, not all the inputs. Only labor changes, therefore, output changes due to labor change. And this is the total output. I think you can remember when the labor is zero now, no output was there. Therefore, when the labor zero, the total product curve starts from the origin. And we identified the total product changes in 3 phases. 1, when fixed inputs are not fully utilized, the total product increases at an increasing rate. There are 3 rates. First, the total product increases at an increasing rate. After that, total product increases, but the rate decreases. Total product increases at a diminishing rate. Total product reaches to maximum, after that declines. This can be presented in this type of curve. This is an S-shaped curve. The short run total product curve is S-shaped curve. What is the reason? The reason is the total product increases at an increasing rate up to a certain point. And total product after that increases, but the rate decreases. After that, total product reaches to maximum and total product decreases. So this is the total product curve. If I write here, the total product increases here at which rate? Increases at an increasing rate. මම මේ ලියනවා අසිරි පේනවද දන්නේ මම ලියුවට. Just see. මෙතන මම ලියන්නේ right ඕගොල්ලොත් මගෙත් එක්කම ඇඳගත්තොත් හරියට but this shape should be correct. All right? And මේ තියෙන්නේ the total product increases at an increasing rate. Make an increasing rate again increase. Increasing rate. We will discuss why. And after that, up to here, we will assume it increases. When the firm increases labor up to L1 level, we will assume that it is 15. The total product increases at an increasing rate. And after that, up to L2 level, total product increases at a diminishing rate. Diminishing can decrease, diminishing rate. And total product reaches to maximum, and after that declines. So this is the behavior. And now we have to combine this change with marginal product and average product. Okay. I like if you follow me with this diagram. I am going to conclude what the theory says. After that, we will go to your presentation and we will explain. And take these shapes correctly. If you are okay, I am going to combine these others. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right. Now you follow me. You just start AP curve. What is AP curve? Average product curve, which explains the behavior of the average productivity of labor per unit and per labor output. Per labor output, APL starts from 0 and it reaches to maximum point at the second phase of production. This is the first phase of production. This is the second phase of production. And this is the third phase of production. Average product curve reaches to maximum point in between these two. හරියට ඇඳ ගන්නවා. Average product curve starts from 0 and increases and reaches to this maximum point at second phase of total product. After that, it keeps on decreasing, but it never cuts the horizontal axis. මේ axis එක කොයි වෙලාවකවත් කපන්නේ නැහැ. මේ හරිය නවත්තන්න ඕනේ. This is the average product of labor. It is the productivity. Now, pay your attention. The marginal product. The marginal product is the additional product, additional output received when the firm increases labor by 1 unit. Additional output received with an additional unit of labor. Additional output received with an additional unit of variable input. So it is given by the marginal product curve. As one of you said, it first increases, after that declines. But here, in order to understand the relationships here, you have to follow these shapes. මම අඳින විදියට ඇඳ ගන්න ළමයි, then it will summarize it. It is easy for you. මම මේ රතු පාටින් අඳින එක පේන්නේ නැත්නම් ආසිරි මෙහෙම ඇඳොත් රතු පාට පේනවද? මෙතන ඇඳලා තියෙන පේනවද?
පේනවා තුවාලේ පේනවා.
Right. Okay. Then I will take the marginal productivity curve in this red color. That should start not from the 0, but like this. We cannot take it 0 because methodology. Okay, we take it from 0 to 1 in between. When the output increases by 1 unit, it is the marginal product. Therefore, we start here, and I will erase this 1, 2, 3. This is the first phase, second phase, third phase, and this starts above the average productivity curve, and it increases and reaches to maximum point at L1 when the TP increases at an increasing rate and starts diminishing. මේකට කියන අපේ inflection point එකක් here, where the curve changes. That was increasing, but it turns in the other way. It starts diminishing. And this point, the marginal productivity curve reaches to maximum point. And after that, it declines and it cuts the maximum point of average productivity curve. Draw it with me. Then it is easy for you. ආසෙදි මේක පේනවද? මට ඉන්න විදිහෙන් මොකක් හරි පවුලක් පේනවා. අපි මේක ඇඳ ගමු, then I will explain.
ඔව් පේනවා.
Okay, then this increases and reaches to the maximum point at the first inflection point. After that declines, that cuts the maximum point of AP, and it further declines and reaches to 0 when total product is in maximum. Total product maximum වෙනකොට then marginal product 0 වෙනවා. And now it decreases. This is marginal productivity of labor. Did you follow me? If you could not, I think TP curve is okay with you. And first we have to take the average productivity of labor. The average productivity here, starting from 0, and that increases, reaches to maximum point in between L1 and L2, or else at the midpoint of the second phase of TP. මේකේ මැදට එනකොට මේක maximum යන්න ඕන. Right? AP curve එක මේ second phase එකේදී maximum වෙන්න ඕන. Then it decreases like this, but never touch the horizontal axis. And after that, we have to take the marginal product curve. Marginal product curve starts above the APL, but not at the 0. And it increases and it reaches to maximum point at the first inflection point. And it declines, cuts the maximum point of AP curve at its maximum point. After that, it declines, but remember, when the marginal productivity curve cuts the horizontal axis, the total product curve should be in maximum. Then, after that, NP declines. I think you are okay. Before moving to this relationships, I will introduce you 3 types of marginal products now. Here, in this diagram, we will understand the marginal product of labor, and that changes with the L. That changes with the L. And that changes like this. This is it. As you said, it increases and declines and goes negative as said. This is the NP curve. What is the meaning of this phase? Marginal product increases. The meaning is when the firm employs an additional labor, he contributes to the total more than the previous one. The meaning is, meeting එක ඉවර වෙන්න යන්නේ, right? අපි හිතමු 10th labor is taken. Assume that the marginal product is, this is the labor. The marginal product is 20, 25. What does it mean? When the 10th labor is added, he adds 25 units because of his employment. Output increases by 25. That means that particular labor has added 25. And assume that 11th labor is taken. Increasing marginal product means he adds more than 25. When the firm employs the next
Recording in progress.
Okay, we are going to start again. What I was telling is, ළමයි අර කවුරු හරි record කරගත්ත එක්කෙනා I record කරගන්න because after the end of this session I cannot take it the time to record. මේ ඒ වෙලාවට තමයි record වෙනව මොනවද වෙන්නේ. Then better you get it recorded if you want. Okay. Now what I was telling is, here the 11th one has added more than the previous one. Can you see? The 10th labor has added 25 and 11th one has added 30. That is the meaning of the marginal product. Then what is happening is marginal product increases is this. And here this is called increasing marginal product. And now after this labor L1 is passed, what happens is the marginal productivity declines. But remember, it is more than 0. I'll take my example again. The 10th labor has added 25 and the firm employs the 11th one. He will add only 20, we will assume. This is called decreasing marginal product. Decreasing marginal returns. Same meaning. Decreasing marginal product means when the firm employs an additional labor, that particular labor adds less than the previous to the total product. තව එක්කෙනෙක් ගත්තාම කලින් එක්කෙනා total එකට add කරාට වැඩිය අඩු ප්‍රමාණයකින් තමයි එයා add කරන්නේ. Then what happens to the total ළමයි? We will assume that here the total product is 200 here. Now total product is still increases. Total product is now 220. But now the total product increases slowly. Why? Each additional label adds less than the previous one. In හැම කෙනාම කලින් එක්කෙනාට වැඩිය slowly තමයි add කරන්නේ. What happens? The total product slows down. When the marginal product is increasing, that means each additional labor adds more than the previous. The total product increasing at an increasing rate. Marginal product increases means each additional labor adds more than the previous one. That means the total product is increasing at an increasing rate. When the marginal product decreases, that means it is more than 0, but it adds less than less of product to the total. That means it is more than 0. This is called diminishing marginal product or marginal returns. Increasing marginal returns, diminishing marginal returns. Here it is negative marginal returns. Negative marginal returns means each additional labor adds less negative to the total. When one more labor is taken, they are much more than the required labor. Maybe the congestion, maybe some other problems, coordination problems. What happens is the total product declines. So total product declines here. Increasing marginal returns, diminishing marginal returns, and negative marginal returns. Right. Before moving to your presentations, I will come to here. මේ බලන්න ගම. You just identify this relationship graphically first. Graphically බලන්න ගම. Now the total product is increasing at an increasing rate. It is due to increasing marginal returns. Additional labor acts more than the previous. ක්‍රිකට් ගහන්න ආපුවාම එක ඕවර් එකට 6ක් ගහලා ඊට අවුරුගේ 8ක් ගහලා එහෙමම වැඩි කරගෙන ගැහුවොත් එම total runs increasing at an increasing rate. Then average runs also increasing. Right? So that here we can take some relationships. First we will take relationships between total product and marginal product. Total product and marginal product relationships. See the relationships. 1. When the marginal product is increasing, you can see graphically. The total product is increasing at an increasing rate. Total product is increasing at an increasing rate due to increasing marginal product. After that, the diminishing marginal returns set here. The marginal product is positive. Can you see in the graph? The marginal product is positive. That means additional labor adds something to the total. But how much he adds? Decreasing. It is called diminishing marginal returns. When the diminishing marginal returns is there, still the total product is increasing. But the rate slows down. Why? Additional labor as less than the previous one. And when the marginal product is zero, total product reaches to maximum. Now, first one is the increasing marginal returns. TP increases at an increasing rate. Diminishing marginal returns. TP increases but diminishing rate. Third, marginal product is zero. Total product is maximum. Marginal product is zero here. The marginal product curve cuts the horizontal axis and the total product reaches to maximum. And the fourth one is when the marginal product is negative marginal returns. Negative marginal returns. Can you see the marginal product is negative here, less than the zero, and the total product is decreasing. When additional labor is taken, because of that employment, total product decreases. That means he adds less than zero, negative. Now, these are the relationships between TP and MP. We will move to your.
Sir, I think I don't know whether it's only me. I can't see the number 4 scenario on the whiteboard.
මොකද?
number 4 කියලා දාපු එක පොඩ්ඩක් පේන්නේ නැහැ වගේ සර්. මන්ද මට විතරද?
Yes, I will tell you and I will take it to here. මෙතන දාලා තියෙන number 4 when the negative marginal returns. Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, negative marginal returns means additional labor is employed, but because of its employment, total product decreases. Here, when the marginal product is negative, total product declines. අලුත් එක්කෙනෙක් ගත්තහම එයා නිසා output එක අඩු වෙනවා. What he add is negative to the total. Negative marginal returns තියෙනකොට TP decline වෙනවා. Now we will go to your presentation and we'll see. See, අපි මේකට පස්සේ this is the total product curve. See, this curve, the shape is S-shaped curve. S-shaped curve is there because it has 3 phases of production. Here the labor amounts are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And here it is the total output, the vertical axis. And when we consider here up to මේක number එකත් එක්ක ඔයගලන්ට බලන්න පුළුවන්. As I see, it is up to number 3, labor 3 units, like the total product is increasing at an increasing rate up to this 4. The TP is increasing at an increasing rate. What is the reason? Marginal product is increasing. You have to remember, when the firm increases only labor, the marginal product increases first. When the marginal product increases, TP increases at an increasing rate. After that, what happens is the marginal product declines, but it is more than 0. Positive but decreasing. Decreasing marginal returns. මෙතන තියෙන්නේ මේ diminishing marginal returns sets here. මෙතනින් පස්සේ තියෙන්නේ diminishing marginal returns. Up to here, TP increases up at an increasing rate. After that, TP increases but at a diminishing rate. After that, TP declines. The same diagram is given here. මෙතන, right? See here. මම එකට ඇඳලා තියෙනවා, මේක වෙනම ඇඳලා තියෙනවා. මේ බලන්න. When the මේ තියෙන්නේ මේ relationship එක, the average productivity curve, it is an inverted U-shaped curve. ඔයගලන්ට දීපු මොනවා හරි එකක ඇත්ති සමහර විට, right? It is an inverted U-shaped curve and it increases, after that declines, but never cuts the horizontal axis, mean it is never 0. And the marginal product increases and reaches to maximum, after that declines and becomes 0. Right? Okay, I think
average AP curve in our tute, it's not start from the 0, but your one we have the AP curve starts from the 0, no?
Yes. When the total, when the see here, it must start in the 0. When we consider when the L is labor, when the labor amounts are 0, L0 now, L0, the total product is also 0. Can you remember we got it? Without the labor, no output. 0 by 0. How do we take the AP? AP equals to TP over L. So 0 over 0. It is 0. That should be start from 0. ඔගලන් ඕක ඉතින් controversial කරගන්න එපා. ඒක 0 වලින් තමයි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අදින් you take any book and see. right? Amen. Then kela, right? In this one, right? Right? I don't say that this is not correct, but it goes to 0. It goes to 0. Okay. Is that answer enough to you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mathematically ගත්තොත් ඔයාට ඒක තේරෙයි. ඊට පස්සේ yeah. And අපිට මේක එකට දාලා තිබිච්ච I think it was there. මේ ඔක්කොම explain කරන්න ළමයි මේ ටික I have taken only the TP and the marginal product. I will take the rest also. මේ බලන්න what it explains here, right? මෙතන තියෙනවා right මේ marginal product increases. ඔයගොල්ලන් ඇඳගත් එකත් එක්ක බලන්න. When the increasing marginal returns there, the TP increases at an increasing rate. And diminishing returns set here. Diminishing returns set here. And when we consider the TP is in maximum here, ඔයගොල්ලන් බැලුවොත් එහෙම ওই numbers එක explain කරලා තිබුණා මට මතක විදියට, and it reaches to 0. Your number table also explains that, right? එතකොට this is the relationship. බැලු බැලමට it is ඒක කියවනකට තේරෙන්නේ it is bit complex වගේ, but it is not complex ළමයි. You just start as I started, right, from these numbers, understand marginal product and the AP, and first understand the marginal product behavior. The marginal product behavior is it increases, after that diminishes, right, and goes negative. That is the theory. The theory says when the firm increases only variable inputs, my numbers, the marginal product eventually diminish after a certain point. That means that increases, after that keeps on decreases and goes negative. Okay, negative. And you just refer your calculations. Calculations altogether, marginal product increases. Marginal product increase in your calculations up to 640. And up to 640, we call it increasing marginal returns. After that, when the labor amount is 7, the diminishing marginal return set. After that, you see your calculations. The marginal product eventually diminishes. That is called diminishing marginal returns. But remember, when the marginal product is 0 in your calculation, what is the total output? It must be 6,000. It must be 6,000. That means TP reaches to maximum when marginal product reaches to 0. After that, marginal product is negative, then total product starts going down. Right? මේ ටික අපි ඒකට එක්ක හිමින් ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒවා. Just understand the theory first. And after that, we can go for these things. These are very simple if you know the APP, like, right? Here, I will come to my graph again, right? There are two relationships that we have to discuss. Okay? Is it clear now? TP, and we got the relationship between the TP and the AP. Now I am going to take a relationship between MP and AP, right? MP and AP. I think your tutor must explain it, right? Now when we consider the relationship between marginal product and average product. There are some relationships. Just look at this diagram, explain it. It is the easiest way. ඉක්මනින් අපිට තේරුම් අරගෙන exam එකට ලියනකොට we have to find the shortcuts. Okay. එතකොට I am trying to push you to the exam. Right? එතකොට ළමයි අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම MP and AP has relationships. මයිසල කතා කරේ TP and MP. Alright? මේ බලන්න එකක් when the MP marginal product greater than AP. Marginal product greater than AP. Up to here. Up to the maximum point of AP. Marginal product is greater than AP. What happens to AP? AP, average productivity labor, increases. It is one relationship. Marginal product is greater above the AP, AP increases. It is first relationship. මේවා graph එකකින් ගන්න ඇයි කියන හිතේ පස්සේ ඕනේ වෙනවා. Right? ඊට පස්සේ second one. When it can affect when AP is less than MP. MP always less than AP. What happens to AP? AP declines. The third relationship. It is how you do this. MP starts above AP, reaches to maximum, declines, crossing the maximum point of AP. මේක බලාගෙන කියන්න පුළුවන්. MP starts above AP, reaches to maximum before AP does. AP එකට කලින් මෙයා maximum එකට යනවා. And declines, crossing the maximum point of AP. Any questions related to diagrams? This is the conclusion of the theory. Theory के conclusion එක ඔය විදිහට ගන්න පුළුවන්.
Sir, second relationship එක පොඩ්ඩක් ආයෙ කියන්න.
Yes. මෙහෙමනේ දැන් මෙතන ඉඳන් මෙතනට ගත්තොත් පුතා මෙතන this is one point. හරි? මෙතනින් එහාට ගන්න චුට්ට. එහෙම ගත්තොත් එහෙම AP is greater. Sorry, මේක මම වැරදියට ලියලා තියෙන මට හිතන විදිහටනේ. Yes, I think. Right? ඒක my mistake, I'm sorry. Right? මේක දාලා තියෙන අනිත් පැත්තට මම AP greater than MP. Here AP වැඩි MP එකට වඩා. Right? AP greater than MP. මම ඒක වරද්දලා ලියලා තිබුණා. And what happens is AP declines. When AP greater than MP, AP declines. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it was my mistake. Right. ඊට පස්සේ third one මම ගත්තේ. Here the MP starts above AP, increases and reaches to maximum point before AP. and decline is crossing the maximum point of AP. These are the three relationships. Now we will move to your slides. Slide presentation එක චුට්ටක් යමු අපි. Right? මේ ටිකේ අපි බලමු මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කියලා. Right? මේ මුල ටික මම හිතන්නේ ඔයගලන්ට කියවලා තේරුම් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Allocative efficiency, technical efficiency, right? ඒ වගේ මම හිතන්නේ right any firm මේ ටිකේ මේක තේරෙනවද ළමයි ඔයගලන්ට කියලා තියෙන එක? Right? Any firm attempts to minimize the cost or else to maximize the output. එකම කාසිය දෙපැත්ත වගේ. Right? Profit maximize කරන්න නම් when the resources are used, the firm has to obtain the maximum output. When maximum output is obtained with using minimum resources, the cost is minimum. ඒ දෙකම එකයි. එකම කාසිය දෙපැත්ත. Right? Production function එක. ළමයි let it explain later. අපි still තාම long run production we did not discuss. හරි? I think now you can understand this production function. The technical lamai production function කියන එකේ what is the meaning? What is the definition that you can give? It is the technical relationship. I will explain it, but අපිට අර mathematical ටිකට ගියාම it is required. Now you see the technical relationship if I write an example. The quantity output in a firm can be written as 2K plus 10L. That means 2 capital with 10 labels can produce this much chemical. Per machinery, 5 labels required chemical. Technical relationship given mathematically. Therefore, this type of equation or the technical relationship is called a production function. If you simplify the quantity output depends on the function of K and L. Therefore, this is the actual production function. We will, I think, in the cost, pardon me, mathematically, right? It's a master's level, Nisa. Okay. Right. The production function means it is the technical relationship between inputs and output. It is the definition. Technical relationship between inputs and output. Right. Right. Make it. So this I am not going to take now. This is long run production. This is isoquant. This has been used to explain the isoquant. So I am not going to take it now. Right. And here short run, long run we have discussed what is short run and long run. Right. ඊට පස්සේ factor productivity. ළමයි ඇත්තටම what is productivity? What is productivity? The productivity is productivity of a factor is output possible per input. This is productivity. How much of output possible to obtain with an input. එක input එකකින් ගන්න පුළුවන් output එක. Okay. එතකොට see here, actually these numbers may be complicated to you. You just analyze simply, right? This is units of capital employed. 8765, like it decreases when labor increases. Okay, labor increases, output, capital decreases, like then here, when the capital is 5, capital methana 4, sorry, capital amounts 4. When one labor is used, the output is 24. And when labor increases to 2, the labor increases to 2, the same amount of capital, and now the productivity of labor has increased. It was a methana 3, 952, 60, 67, 775. Right at the water, units of labor employed increases, the output also here increases, right? So the make up in different ways we can use this production may relationship figure. Right? Here it is. Can you see can you just pay your attention here? When the firm uses 7 capital and 2 labors, it is possible to obtain 64 output. And also, the same output can be obtained by changing this mix. 6 capital and 3 labor gives the same output. And also, when the firm mixes like this, 3 capital with 6 labors, same output can be taken. These are different combinations: 7K, 2 labor, or 6 capital, or 3 labor, or 3 capital and 6 labor will give the same output. So if we take this type of a relationship graphically, the capital and labor different combinations. 3 with 6 capital, 3 labor, and different combination, 4 capital, 6 labor, and another one, 1 capital, 10 labor. Like all combinations possible will give the same output. The same output is the isoquant curve. Isoquant curve, the curve that represents the same output that can be obtained with different combinations of 2 inputs. We'll be taking it in long run. Long run, right? These are we discussed, right? Okay. මෙතන more units ළමයාර මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කියපු විදිහට මතක තියාගන්න, when more and more variable inputs are used withholding same amount of fixed inputs, the marginal product will eventually diminish after a certain point. Right? ඒක කවුරු හරි ලියාගත්තද මොන හරි ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න ළමයි. Can you define the short run production theory, diminishing marginal returns? Any difficulties in defining it? Do you want to write it down? ළමයි ආගෙන ඉන්නවද? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Any difficulties? Just tell me. Uh-huh. Yes, I can. Yes, of course. Yes. Yes. Of course, if I knew that mean your speed, definitely I adjust to it. But the problem in this online is you are not, none of you is not switching on your videos. එකත් එක්ක I can't see your facial expressions. That is why I was, because I understood that your basics were not good, right? Okay. Then here, can you just understand this one? When we take the when we draw a ray from starting from the origin to this TPP line, okay, the slope is the APP. Okay, the slope of any curve. Okay, slope of any curve ගත්තොත් එහෙම, I think you can remember in O-level mathematics that is taken as slope of any curve is taken as vertical distance over horizontal distance. Okay. එතකොට if you take this the slope of this ray, not the slope of this TPP, remember, not the slope of this TPP we discussed, but if we draw a ray that touching this TPP, the slope of this ray is the average productivity. TPP over L. Why I mentioned it here is, here it is the total product and the vertical axis represents the labor. Therefore, the vertical distance divided by horizontal distance is TPP, TP over L කියන එක. TP over L කියලා කියන්නේ average product. Okay. This we discussed what are average product and everything, and this is also we discussed, all right. And okay, as we have small time, හරි අපි ඊළඟ ටිකේ අපි loan run කියන එකත් අපි if we take a small time, right? අපි before moving to this complex points, අපි will just have an idea about the loan run production theory. Right? Just takes a small time period. අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම, when we consider the loan run, the quantity output related with both capital and labor, then that means both these inputs are variable. That means when these both output inputs are changed, the size of the firm change, the capacity
Recording in progress.
ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඇහෙනවද?
දැන් ඇහෙනවද?
Yeah, then
හරි හරි. තමයි මේ මම හිතන්නේ මොකක් හරි එක්ස්ට්‍රා මගේ අතින් මිස්ටේක් එකක් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මුලදී කිව්ව ටික මුකුත්ම තේරුන්නේ නැද්ද? ඇහුනේ නැද්ද මේ ටික?
No, sir, no.
රයිට් ඔකේ.
අපි හිතුවා සර් කෝල් එකක් වගේ කියලා ඉවරලා තමයි අපිට පෙවුනේ.
නෑ මේ ආසිරි තමයි මට කෝල් කරේ. ඉතින් මම
right.
I kept on going.
okay. නෑ අපිට මුකුත් නැහුන්නේ නැහැ සර් මේ ලාස්ට් සෙෂන් එකේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අලුතෙන් පටන්
අපි මේ පොඩි වෙලාවක් ගමු. රයිට්. මටත් මහසි අපි මැදදී බ්‍රේක් එකක් ගත්තෙත් නැති නිසා. රයිට්. අපේ what I was telling is I just want to tell you what is loan run. The next day we can go to the presentation, right? එතකොට අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම loan run production එකේ the firm can change all its inputs. When all inputs are changed, that means the factory size, buildings, number of machines, labor, and everything increase. When all inputs change, the firm's size increases. That means the size of the firm or the scale of the firm. These are same words. Assume that in a garment factory, the per day, the production capacity is 50 shirts. It is called the capacity of the firm or the size of the firm. When the firm increases the all inputs, the size of the firm also increases. Therefore, loan run producer keeps on increasing the size of the firm. When the firm keeps on increasing the size of the firm continuously, there is a behavior, there is a pattern in changing the output. Output එක pattern එකකට change වෙනවා. So this pattern is explained by the loan run production theory. The loan run production theory says that the firm increases the size of it continuously. It passes through 3 phases. කලින් කිව්වා වගේ මේකෙත් තියෙනවා 3 phases. First one is increasing returns to scale. This means when the firm increases inputs by 5% as an example, the output increases more than 5%. The percentage increase in output is greater than inputs increase. I ask you a question also. මම ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ question එකකුත් ඇහුවා තනියම. ඒක තමයි what are the reasons that the output increases more than the percentage increase in inputs. Inputs increase කරනවට වැඩිය output එක increase කරන්න what may be the reasons in your firms? ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගොඩක් firms වල වැඩ කරන කට්ටිය. Initially, the firm can change its technology. Possible to employ better technology when the firm size increases. The other one is, it is possible to go for labor division. Have you heard about labor division? Labor division means the production process is split into smaller tasks and different labors are employed to do that small task. When we consider a garage, the painting is a part of the production process, but it is done by one person. The advantage is he will carry on the same duty again and again. Therefore, he will become an expert. He can do better than others. He can do less time than others. This is called the specialization. Specialization increases skills. Therefore, division of labor and the employing of better technology, employing of better machineries, and due to some other reasons, the output increases greater than inputs increase. On the other way, the second phase, that means when the firm increases the size continuously, the second phase, okay, the percentage increase in output equals to percentage increase in inputs. This is called constant returns to scale. Constant returns to scale. Okay. එතකොට third stage එකේදී මේ හරිය පේන්නේ නැහැ කිව්ව නේද ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. right? Third stage එකේදී the percentage increase in output less than percentage increase in inputs. මේකට අපි කියනවා decrease in returns to scale. right? Decrease in returns to scale. right? මම මේ ලියලා තියෙන්නේ පහළ ටික පේන්නේ නැතද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට? first stage එකේදී increase in returns to scale. That means output increases greater percentage than inputs increase. Second ekedi, constant returns to scale. Output increases in the same percentage as input increase. And the third is stage ekedi, percentage increase in output less than inputs increase. Total, api political reasons the second phase ekedi, right? Output increases the same percentage as inputs. The reason is it is the best capacity of the firm. It is the highest efficiency of the firm. And when the firm is oversized, the last one is when the firm is oversized, the output increases, but it is not that much efficient because there are coordination problems. And there may be some the overuse of capital that leads to depreciation, and also work overload on the managers or decision makers, then their efficiency decreases. Likewise, there are some problems when the firm is oversized. Therefore, the firm has three phases here. The most important thing is when the output increases greater percentage than inputs කියන්නේ ළමයි cost of production. Inputs value is the cost. Output increases greater percentage than input increases. What will happen to per unit cost ළමයි? එක unit එකක cost එක මොකක් වේද in this stage? First stage එකේදී per unit cost will decrease. Average total cost in long run will decrease. Can you understand this? When we consider the second stage, output increases same percentage as input increase. Cost increases by 5%, output increases by 5%, then the average total cost, etc., in the long run will be same. It does not change. In the last stage, output increases less percentage than input. Input can cost. Therefore, our etc., average total cost, will increase in this phase. Therefore, when we summarize the behavior of the output, one way is, right, make a basics materialize. This is the long run average total cost curve, and this is the output or the scale of the firm. When we consider at the very beginning, the firm increases its output or the scale of the firm, the average total cost declines. And ඊට පස්සේ what happens is the cost remains unchanged. And after that, it increases. Therefore, this is the ATC curve in the long run. Through this, we can just understand what are the phases of production. In the first phase, the increasing returns to scale is there. කලින් එකත් එක්ක පටල ගන්න එපා. කලින් එකේ තිබුණේ increasing returns, increasing marginal returns, short run. And here, increasing returns to scale. Here it is constant returns to scale, and this is diminishing returns to scale. So these are the three phases, and in your slides, these stages have been discussed with these isoquant curves. Okay, I think it is the time to stop now. Any questions or anything to discuss? If I
Recording
ask,
stopped.
yes. When is your exam? What is the exam date?
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. My God. Okay. Then when we are going to do the next class? We have to do Monday, like me. We can do
Tomorrow?
Monday.
Sir, can't we not tomorrow, sir?
Tomorrow is a very busy day for me because I am conducting A-level classes also. You know that Saturday and Sunday are most busy days. Can't you think about Monday evening, like in this time?
Okay.
We have to, because
Yes.
tomorrow my classes is starting at 8:30. And after that, continuously, I'm running up to, it's like 7:30. It's a very busy day. After that, I cannot pay my attention to this type of tough lessons. Right? We will meet Monday or Tuesday. Don't worry. I think we can take 2 more days and we can finish it.
Sir, after we finishing this theory part, then
Yeah.
we have to go through kind of questions, no, sir?
Yes,
At
yes.
least practice
Send
questions.
me your question papers that you want to discuss. Then I will see. Etakota based on if you are given some clues, right? Don't waste time. Send it to me. Then I will touch the theory part accordingly. Then we
Sir,
can go.
then shall we put a class on Monday, sir?
Yes, we will put on Monday.
Sir, in this long run, we are changing the input in the sense capital plus, that means and
Yes,
the
capital and labor.
input.
Capital
Yes.
and labor. Still we are taking only these two.